Hey guys, let us discuss some basics of data view in this session. Okay, in Mule 4. Okay, so if you see the current version of data view language is uh, data view 2.0, and the latest version is 2.2.0. Okay, so this particular version of data view supports from Mule runtime 4.2. Okay, so you can see the info here. Okay, yeah. So let me show you what are the things I will be discussing today. That is these six things like plus plus operator, type of function, size of function, and is empty, values of, and keys of. So these are the basics. Okay, so let us discuss about these six things. Okay, so this I have opened the dwlang.fun.com. Okay, so and this is how it shows uh, the interface or view. Okay, so this is the input. Okay, and this is the DW script you'll be writing, and this is the output you'll be getting. So why we need data view? So this is to transform the input payload, okay, payload into your desired format. So you can convert the files or payloads from one format to another format. For example, you can convert it from JSON to CSV, CSV to JSON, XML to JSON. So it all depends again actually. Okay, or else like JSON to JSON also, if you want to reduce the mapping from the or extracts few details from the original input JSON file. So it all depends actually. But data is something to convert the file which will be sent as an input to the transform message and to get the output from that uh, like based upon your requirement. Okay, so let us see, let us first play with this data view playground, within this data view playground. Okay, so this is the payload, right? Whatever I have selected here, it is a payload. This is a very simple payload. Okay, and you could see the format here as JSON, right? Here in this drop down. So yeah, it is, we have few other formats as well like CSV, XML, DWL, XL, SX, TXT, multipart, etc., etc. But mostly in Mule, we'll be dealing most of the times with JSON, CSV, XML, okay, TXT, or Java, something like that. Okay, so this is a payload. Okay, and you see here, this is like data view 2.0. This resembles the version, and okay, and how you would like to, this is the application and the application type here it is. Okay, so how you would like to convert this input payload to, this is what we are specifying it here. Okay, so this is the header part. Okay, and this is the body part from line number 4. So that is what you could see here, three lines are there, right? Three dotted lines. So this is the body. After this line number 3, whatever you have here, that is the body, and this is the header section. Okay, now, so this is the input payload, this is the simple data view script, and this is the output. Okay, so there is no difference because we are converting JSON to JSON, and simply we have kept payload here. So there is no difference between input payload and the output payload. Yeah, clear till here. Now, so this is the payload, we have simply printed that. Now, do we have any hierarchy? Okay, this is a payload. Yes, we have a hierarchy. We have something like, so if you assume this has a, this whole thing as a parent, this curly braces. Okay, so this is a child. So this we call as a key, and this we call as a value. So obviously, if you take a proper JSON, it should be a combination of key value pair, right? Okay, so for example, I'm going to put one more key, message 2. I'll put it as hi. So this is also a JSON. So which is having two keys, that is message and message 2, and two values, that is hello world and hello. So this is one key value pair, and this is another key value pair. So this is a JSON with where the size of the JSON is 2, and size is nothing but a combination one key value pair here in this instance. Okay, so this is a payload, and we are getting the same thing as is. For example, now I would like to extract, let's say, message 2. So yeah, this is how you can get the value of this key message 2. Okay, yeah, this is how you can access these keys based upon the hierarchy. Okay, so for example, let me put something like address. Okay, so this will be a composite element. So inside this, so address, for address I am going to assign one object. Okay, one moment. Yes, guys. So this is an element key. Okay, and this is the value. Okay, now let me put something like city here. Okay, so let me put it as Hyderabad. Okay, and let's say like state, I'll put it as TS, Telangana state. Okay, so so this is a JSON file with three key value pairs at a high level. So this is one key, second key, and the third key. But this third key has, so I mean, we have assigned one more JSON object actually. Okay, and it has again two keys, that is city and state. Okay, so it all depends actually. For example, now if I put something like this address, okay, so it prints the contents within the address. So it's all about, for example, if I want to print or access city, so this is how you can access it. Okay, so I hope till now you understood this thing. Okay, now let's jump on to the concept like a plus plus operator. Okay, so that we will use. So let me remove these things. Okay, and yeah, so yeah, this is a simple JSON. Okay, for example, I would be extracting message from this. So this is the value of this message. Okay, so plus plus operator is something where, yes, plus plus operator is something where you can concatenate two similar data types. Okay, for example, this is a string, hello world is a string. For example, now I'm going to keep how are you. Okay, so what it does, it will concatenate both this hello world and how are you. So you could see the result here, right? Okay, so this is used for concatenating two strings. Okay, for example, now I'll be concatenating uh, two integers. Yeah, so what it will result into, it results into a string for surely, because you're concatenating two integers. So ideally, generally we do addition of the two integers, right? But when you concatenate two integers, it results into a string this way. Okay, so so if I keep 1 plus 2, so it is an addition, so it will return an integer only, and that is the value of that is 3. But if when you concatenate these two things, okay, so it results into a string this way. Okay, so now we are done with concatenating string and also a number. Okay, for example, if I'm going to concatenate, this is an object, right? So even we can concatenate two objects. For example, payload is what I have kept here. I'm going to concatenate one more object. Let's say like hi is the key, and hello is one more value, I mean one value for this key. Now you see here we have concatenated, this is one object and this is one object, right? Whatever I have selected here. So the payload is, it's a JSON object, and this is also a object. So we are able to concatenate two objects and return it as a one object. Okay, so now this object has uh, two keys and two values. Okay, one key is message, the other key is hi. So this is how you can concatenate objects as well. For example, let me convert this to an array. Uh, yeah, so I'm converting this to an array. Now I'll keep something like simple elements 1, 2, 3. Okay, now yeah, so I'll be adding, so payload, this is an array. I'm concatenating one more array. So like 4 comma 5. See, now we could see that in the result, right, in the output section. So this is how you can utilize this concatenation operator or plus plus operator. Okay, so this is all about your requirement. Okay, now let's explore. So, and also before I close discussing about this particular operator, this is all about like concatenating two similar data, two similar entities or two similar data types. If it is object, if it is an array, if it is number, if it is a string, anything you can concatenate. Okay, but they should be similar actually. For example, here okay, for example, I'm going to concatenate an object. Okay, let us see what happens. So hi, okay, and hello. So what happened? So this is an array and this is an object, right? So we cannot concatenate two different data types ultimately. Or if you concatenate some other data type as well, it should be able to typecast it. Okay, so that is how it works actually. You can, so mostly you remember that we have to use similar data types, or the data type you concatenate, though is differing from this particular data type, it should be able, this should be able to typecast into this thing. So that is how you can play with this plus plus operator. Okay, now let me discuss about type of. So type of is something just to recognize what kind of payload it is, or what kind of data type, sorry, what kind of payload it is. Okay, now, or data type it is. Okay, fine. Now for example, um, okay, so I'm going to put something like type of. So if see here, it is an array, right? I think it will be checking only data types, not the what kind of, yeah, if it is like it results only into like object, array, or number, or string, or date time, or date, something like that. Okay, so this way you can understand based upon the input. For example, I'm going to put some simple string. Okay, hi. So now you see here, it resulted into string. Okay, so even if we put sentence, so this is again a string, right? Because everything is in double quotes. Yeah, string. Okay, so now for example, I'm going to keep this JSON input file. Okay, Control V. So here you see here, this is an array, right? At top you could see it as an array, and inside there we have four objects, one, two, three, four. So it only focuses on the higher level part. So here it is like an array, right? So that's why it is resulting into an array. For example, now I'm going to put something like payload of 0. Okay, so this is an object, right? Obviously, because it is extracting, it is considering this thing, payload of 0. Okay, payload of 1, payload of 2, and payload of 3. So all these are objects. So it all depends upon the expression you keep here. For example, now I'm going to put payload of 0 dot. I'm going to put or select proficient. Now you see this particular uh, the type of this particular selected thing will print as a output here. Okay, so now for example, I'm going to pass something like 45. See, so 45 is a number, right? So that is what it has printed in the output section. So for example, now I'm going to put now, this is a, so it is returning it into string format, but if you type of, let us see what it returns. See, so type of now is nothing but date time. Okay, so this is how you can use type of thing. For example, I'm going to change it to uh, an object of objects, for example, or else let me remove this thing. Okay, now you see here, I'm going to remove this thing. Sorry, yeah. Now you see here, type of payload. So you see here, it will print it as a, sorry, something is the issue. Yeah, comma we have to remove. So you see here, it has printed object here. Okay, so this is how you can get to know what is the type of the input actually. It could be like string, number, date time, array, or object. This is how you can play with the type of function. Okay, now let me jump on to size of actually. Okay, these are very simple functions only. Yeah, you see here, size of this payload. You see this is an object, right? Now within this object, you could see four key value pairs are there. So that is the reason it has printed 4. So this is 1, this is 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so so you'll determine the size of an object based upon the key value pairs. Okay, and for example, now I'm going to put a simple array. Okay, so it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let I missed 2 here. Yes, now you see here, the size of this array is 5. Okay, if I'm going to put some string here, okay, let's say like hello. So the size of string is 5, right? So this is how. Um, but size of a number will be always 1. Yeah, because it's a number. You put something like 457 or 458, anything, or you increase it by if you are converting into thousands, so it's a number, right? So the size of a number is 1 always, mostly. Okay, so you can check the size of number, an object on an array or string. Okay, this is how you can work with size of. Okay, now let us see about is empty. So this is used to check whether a payload is empty or not, whether it is having any value or not, we can check. So if I put this thing, obviously we have something in the, one moment. Uh, yes, you see here is empty of payload. Now you see here something we have in the payload, right? So it is able to recognize that. Okay, is empty of payload. So uh, it is not empty, right? So that's why it is returning the boolean value as false. So if it is really empty, then it will return something. I mean, then it will return true. See, it is an empty array, right? We don't have anything in the input file or input payload. So that is why it has returned true here. For example, I'm going to put some string value or this way. So this is empty, right? Obviously. So that is why it is returning true. For example, I'm going to put something like hi, how are you? Okay. So this is not empty. Okay, that is why it will return false. So is empty is like it will check the payload whether it is empty or not. If it is has something, okay, which is not other than empty or null, even if you put null here, so ideally we'll not get the files this way, but if it is null also, it will return true because it is an empty. It's empty actually. It is empty, or you can consider nothing actually. Okay, so this is how you can check is empty, or I mean if the payload is empty or not. So in real time, when you have to check whether the file is having some data or not, better you go with the is empty instead of size of. Okay, now let me discuss about values of. So you see here, this is like values of and this is like keys of. So if you recap your knowledge, okay, so these terms are related to object, right? So for example, I'm going to take this particular object. Okay, let me copy paste it here. Okay, now this is a simple object, right? So is empty is obviously it is false. So now we'll be talking about values of payload. Okay, or let me first take the keys of payload. Okay, so control V. Now you see here, um, this keys in the sense here we have four keys and four values, right? Whatever are in this maroon color, they are keys, and whatever are there in this blue or some color, this is these set of values are values, right? So when you perform keys of payload, so you should always perform this on uh, a JSON object only, because this keys of term is related to technically related to object, right? You cannot perform this on an array. This particular function you cannot function on perform on an array. Okay, so this keys of function you have to apply on object. Okay, now you see keys of payload, it has extracted, or it has listed a list of keys. That is what you could see here: name, age, gender, and profession. Okay, so this is how it will work. For example, now I'm going to perform the same thing on, this is an array, right? So let us see if this will work or not. So as we already discussed, we can perform this keysum function only on the object, not on array. So though we have something inside this array, but at a high level, this is an array, right? So you cannot perform this straight away. But for example, keys of payload of 0, because that is, so you have some object in the first index, right? So now you see, when I have kept payload of 0, it has printed the keys of these things. So here, anyway, all the keys, all the objects keys are same. Okay, for example, I'm going to put age 2 here. Now if you put it as 1 here, it will, see, we could see the difference, right? It extracted the keys from this particular object. So this is how it goes on. So you have to, in order to fetch uh, keys from an object or an array of objects, you have to put the corresponding expression here, or the relevant path where you'll be finding an object. So obviously, ultimately, it's like you have to pass an object inside this. That is what you have to remember. Okay. So this is all about keys of. It will so most probably, or whatever you keep inside this should resolve into an object. That is the point here. And on that object, it will try to fetch the or list out the keys inside that object. Okay. Now, um, yes. Now let me speak about um, this values of. So as we have already seen keys of, this is also an easy function. Now see, values of function you cannot directly perform on an array, okay, but you can perform on something like where it leads to an object. So here payload of 2 I'll be keeping. Okay, so now you see here it has printed this information. So this is 0 1 2 3. So when you have used this thing in the data view script, it has printed the values of this particular object. Okay, for example, you do not want to use this, or else I'm going to put something like an address here. Okay, so now it is like city. I'll keep it as Bangalore. Okay, now in order to check the keys of this particular element, so you have to first of all um, go to that index that is nothing but 3 and dot. You have to check. So your requirement is to check the keys within the address, right? So you have to select that, or sorry, values, right? So you have to select that thing. So now see, you got this value. So if you have multiple values inside this, let's say like okay, state, I'll keep it as Karnataka, right? Now you see here it will list two values based upon the function. So this keys of values of we can apply on objects, and if you apply keys of, it will list out the keys within that object, and uh, if you apply values of, it will list out all the values. For example, I'm going to simply keep this a payload of 3. Okay, now what will happen? See, these are the values, right? Rani 30, female, senior consultant, and this is also a value. So that you have to remember. Okay, so this is how you can utilize this type of size of isempty values of keys of functions and also plus plus operator in the real time based upon your requirement. Okay, I hope you understood something out of this, and if you like it, please subscribe and share. Thank you.